always believe house. Oh, today you're going to learn about sequences. Arithmetic sequences, and geometric sequences. And it is going to be F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. So what's a sequence, you ask? We're about to find out. So a magical whiteboard appears and we're about to learn about sequences. Okay, a sequence is a list of numbers or a series of numbers that you add a common difference to, which is an arithmetic sequence, or that you multiply a common ratio with, which is a geometric sequence. So we're going to talk about arithmetic sequences first. And notice on the paper you have, I wrote down 5, 7, 9, 11. This is an example of an arithmetic sequence. If I were to do 7 minus 5, I would get 2. If I were to do 9 minus 7, I would get 2. If I were to do 11 minus 9, I would get 2. The 2 is called the common difference, okay? And the 5 is the first term. Okay, if you look on the left, it talks about how to write down this series and all that. And we're going to use this for the series. So when you write the series, you're going to replace the first term in the D, which is the common difference. Okay, this is a little bit different than writing mx plus b. In mx plus b, the b is the zero term or the y-intercept. A series really won't be graphed. It's just going to be a series of numbers that you're trying to find like a certain term, okay? So the series of numbers would be a to the n equals the first term is 5 plus you put n minus 1 and then the common difference is 2. Now then, let's say I wanted to find the 10th term. The 10th term, I would replace the n with 1, type that as is into the calculator, and just get the answer, okay? Just type it as is into the calculator. If you do it by your hand, you got to do the parentheses, multiply, then add. So now this is going to be 23 if you do it on the calculator, okay? Piece of cake, okay? This is not hard. Don't let all the jibber-jabber wording on the left get you frustrated. I just put that in there because it is some notes. So all you need to do is find the common difference in the first term and then you plug it into this formula, okay? Piece of cake. The only numbers you're plugging in are the first term and the common difference. If it doesn't have a common difference, it's not an arithmetic sequence. So let's go down. Let's look at number 1. Write an explicit formula for each arithmetic sequence. Find the 6 and 12 terms of each sequence, okay? So let's look at number 1. I'm going to do 2 for you. You can do 2 on your other. If I do 7 minus 4.5, I get 2.5, don't I? That's the common difference, or D. This would be the first term. Okay, so my formula is going to be a to the n equals the first term is 7 plus put n minus 1 and the common difference is negative 2.5. It's negative 2.5 because the numbers are getting smaller in it. Okay, and I'm going to put this in parentheses, okay? So we're going to multiply the common difference times n minus 1, then add 7 to it. It's kind of backwards from mx plus b. Now then, we want to find the 6th term. So the 6th term is going to be this. Let me rewrite it here. 7 plus parentheses 6 minus 1 times a negative 2.5. Okay, so 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 negative 2.5 would be negative 12.5. And this would be a negative 5.5, okay? And then we want to find the 12th term. The 12th term would be 7 plus 12 minus 1 times negative 2.5. That would be 11 times negative 2.5, and that exceeds my RAM, okay? I'm not able to get that real quick, but just type that into the calculator and write it down, okay? If I open up the calculator, it's kind of messing up the pen, so I'm not going to do that. Just type that as is and put down the answer. This will be a little bit easier here. So our first term's 12 and the common difference is 12. Don't even have to do anything on this one. We don't have to find it because they give us all. The first term's 12, put plus n minus 1, and then your common difference is 12. If the common difference is negative, put it in parentheses so the calculator will do it correctly. Now then the 6th term. You would write down a to the 6 equals, and then replace the n with 6. So 6 minus 1, oh, let me put a 12 in here. 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 times 12 is 60. 60 plus 12 is 72. And then the 12th term, 12 plus 12 minus 11 times 12. So we're going to do 12 minus 1, I'm sorry. We're going to do 12 minus 1, which is 11. 11 times 12 is 132. And then 132 plus 12 is 144. So that would be the 12th term. Piece of cake, isn't it? Okay? You're just basically writing the multiples of 12 down, aren't you? Because the common difference is 12. Easy, easy, easy. Let's turn the page, and now we're going to talk about geometric sequences. In geometric sequences, this is the formula. And we won't be adding, we will be multiplying, which is why we have an exponent where the n minus 1 is. For instance, let's look at this problem. On this problem, if I do 6 divided by 3, I get 2. If I do 12 divided by 6, I get 2. If I do 24 divided by 12, I get 2. That 2 is called the common ratio. And they use an R for it, okay? The 3 is going to be the first term. So look at the formula. I'm going to put the first term here and my common ratio here, and then use n minus 1 as an exponent. This is not hard to do. Okay, so 3 is my first term, parentheses, my common ratio is 2, and then n minus 1. If I wanted to do the sixth term, okay, it would be 3 parentheses 2, and then 6 minus 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. 2 to the 5th is 32. 32 times 3 is 96. Okay, so this is real easy. Make sure you put a to the n equal. This would be a to the 6 equals, right? And you just replace it. Easy, easy, easy. Remember, you're probably not going to generate a graph from this. This is used a lot in computer programming where they're trying to find the nth term of a series of numbers. And in Algebra 1, we're either going to add or subtract, which is an arithmetic or a geometric. Now then, let's go down to here. These are not difficult. Okay, to get your common ratio, just take the first two and divide them. So negative 9 divided by 9 is negative 1. That's my common ratio. My first term is n. Then write the formula. A to the n equals, the first term is 9. The common ratio is negative 1. Then put, that is not hard to do. And now we want to find the 5th and 8th term. So a to the 5th equals 9 parentheses negative 1 and 5 minus 1. You're going to replace this number with the n, aren't you? 5 minus 1 is 4. If you have 4 negative 1s, you have a positive, and a positive 1 times 9 is 9. And then the 8th term, you would write down a to the 8th equal 9 parentheses negative 1, and then 8 minus 1, not 8 minus 7. So 8 minus 1 is 7. If you multiply 7 negative 1s, you get a negative 1. Then negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. Remember, you're working these from right to left because you have to use the order of operations. You do not multiply the 9 and the negative 1 first, do you? You got to do the exponent math, do the exponent, then multiply by your first term. Let's do the next one. This is not hard at all. Write down a to the n equals, the first term's negative 16, put a parentheses. The common ratio is 12, then put n minus 1. This is going to exceed my RAM on this because this is going to be a big exponent. So the 5th term is going to be negative 16 times 12 to the 5 minus 1, and then you're going to put equal in the number. Just type that as is into the calculator. The 12th term, this is going to be a huge number. Negative 16, 12 times 12 minus 1, right? So just type those into the calculator and write down the answer. Just left to right, exact same is, and you'll get the answers to these, okay? Piece of cake. And remember, we are writing what's called explicit formulas. These are explicit formulas. Turn the page! Okay, now then describe a pattern in each sequence. What are the next two terms of the sequence? So these are going to be mixed with algebraic and geometric. For instance, on number 1, can I multiply 3 and get 7? Probably not unless it's a fraction. So subtract. If you subtract, you get 4. 11 minus 7 is 4. 15 minus 11, 4. This is arithmetic in it. So D is equal to 4, the common difference, right? My first term's 3. And you just got to keep these formulas down, okay? A to the n equals, or what are the next two terms? Let's write the pattern so you can get it down. A to the n and write down sequence. Write down the formula, okay? So a to the n equals 3 plus the common difference is 4. So that's what you would write down, right? The next two terms, put two blanks. 15 plus 4 is 19, and 19 plus 4 is 23. So you're going to write down the formula, then write down the next two blanks. Let's go to the next one. Let's draw two blanks, so that way you do that. Now then on this one, if I add, I get 2. 3 plus 2 is not 9, is it? Notice I'm multiplying by 3, aren't I? That's going to be called the common ratio, or R, right? Now that if I keep doing that, 27 times 3 is 81, and 81 times 3 is 243. Now then we're going to write down the formula. So a to the n equals, my first term is 1, parentheses, my common ratio is 3, and put an n minus 1. Piece of cake. So this is a geometric formula, and this is an arithmetic formula, right? That's all you got to do. All you need is the first term and the common difference or the common ratio, and you can write your formula, okay? Let's go down to number 17, or 7 to 11, 10. Identify the common difference and also write the formula. If it's not, you'll just put no, okay? So on this one right here, plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, that's a common rate or common difference, right? So ding, 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 I got an arithmetic sequence. So write down yes. Okay, and then the common difference, write down D equals 6. This is my first term. So write down A to the n equals the first term 6 plus n minus 1, and the common difference is 6. This should be 3. The first term is 3. Easy, easy, easy. Let's go to the next one. On the next one, I'm adding 2, I'm adding 3, I'm adding 4. That is not. That would be a quadratic, okay? Because you keep increasing, right? Would not be arithmetic. So put not arithmetic. So it is. If it is arithmetic, write down the common difference and write down the formula, okay? The next two is geometric. Remember, geometric, we're going to be multiplying. So on this one, I multiply by 2, multiply by 2, ding, 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 ding. The common ratio is 2 in it. Now then, write down the formula. The nth term is equal to, our first term is 5, parentheses, our common ratio is 2, and then n minus 1. That is all you got to do. Go to the next one. I can't multiply 7 and get 13 unless it's a fraction. I'm adding 6, adding 6, I'm adding 6. That is not geometric, it's arithmetic, right? So put not geometric. Piece of cake. Let's keep going. Turn the page. Write the explicit formula for the nth term, then find the sixth term, okay? These are not hard at all. Okay, so we need to find the common difference. So if I subtract, I get 7. If I subtract, I get 7. 7 is the common difference. So I'm going to write down a to the n equals, the first term is 9, plus n minus 1, and the common difference is 7. And then I want to get the sixth term, plus 6 minus 1 times 7. And you would type that as is into the calculator. 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 times 7 is 35. 35 plus 9 is going to be 44. Piece of cake. Oh. Remember, just type that as is into the calculator and it'll work. Let's go to the next one. The next one's easier because they're giving you the first term of the common difference. You don't have to find it. So let's write down a to the n equals, our first term is 3, plus, and then n minus 1, and the fifth term is right here in it. The common difference is 5, right? Now then, we want to find the sixth term. So we're going to replace the n with 6. And 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 plus 3 is 28. If you can't do that, just type it into the calculator. Easy, easy, easy. Keep going. Now we have a geometric sequence, right? So we're not going to add, we're going to multiply, right? So times 4, times 4, times 4. So my common ratio is 4. Now then I'm going to write down the pattern. And it's the first term's 3, parentheses, my common ratio is 4, and then n minus 1, right? Then I'm going to find the seventh term. So a to the 7 equals 3, parentheses, 4, and then 7 minus 1. 7 minus 1 is 6, and 4 to the 6 exceeds my RAM, but you'll do 4 to the 6 times 3, write down the answer. Use your calculator and type that in as is. On the next one, this is a little bit easier because they're giving us the first term of the common ratio, right? Now then, this is going to go from positive, negative, because your common ratio is a negative number. So write down a to the n equals, the first term is 81, parentheses, negative 3 to the n minus 1, and we want to find the 7th term. This is going to be a very large number. Okay, just type that as is into the calculator and write down the problem. See if you can do the next two. They're pretty simple to do. You're going to have a wonderful time doing that. That's going to be like eating a Cinnabon tenderloin. Cinnabon tenderloins. These are pretty simple problems here. Have a wonderful time doing them. You're going to have a lot of fun. It's just like eating Oreo cookies. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things. And you are awesome.